Fair, Mississippi's a giant house party. We welcome now to the SuperTalk Mississippi set. It's Andy Gipson. He's the Commissioner of Agriculture and Commerce for the great state of Mississippi. Commissioner, always good to see you, sir.
Great to see you. Great to be here in the beautiful Neshoba County Fair and in this beautiful weather we're having.
Yeah, man. We had a big old time up at the RNC, didn't we?
We had a blast, man. It was a joy to be there with you, and we're really part of history.
No doubt.
These moments happen in life, and you think this is going to be something the history books are going to write about. We were there when Donald Trump walked out that first night of the convention, to everyone's surprise.
Exactly.
The last time we saw him, he was standing up with blood running down his face saying fight, and he showed up at the convention. Everybody, the crowd went wild.
Incredible resiliency, Mr. Trump. And, you know, our seats where we were assigned there on the floor of Fiserv Arena, didn't really think much about it, but all of a sudden we ended up with the best seats in the house.
We were in the right place at truly the right time. Yeah.
That was awesome. So, I caught a little bit of your speech today. Of course, that's customary here at the Neshoba County Fair. What's the message today?
Well, the message, of course, is agriculture is strong. It is still our largest industry. I think the latest numbers that came out, 429,077 jobs directly or indirectly from agriculture and forestry in Mississippi. That's a huge percentage. Direct jobs, 1 out of every 5 are agriculture or forestry-related jobs. So jobs was the message. We've got to to take Mississippi first. That was the theme of my talk. What's it going to take to make Mississippi first? Jobs, number one, but workforce. It does us no good to have a job if people don't want to work. And I applaud the Senate for the study committee they're doing on workforce. I told the crowd, I'm not sure that I know how you can get that want to or that desire in somebody's mind and heart to want to go to work, but people got to get up off the couch and go to work for the sake of our future, for the sake of our children and grandchildren, for the sake of this state. So workforce, the backbone of Mississippi is our workforce and our workers. Every day we should thank our workers of all industries, just like we thank our farmers. And then the subject of health care. And the legislature did a great thing passing a non-Obamacare health plan option this year, what's called the Farm Bureau plan, associational nonprofit organization health care plans that are being developed right now. And so Mississippians, hardworking Mississippians who want insurance but affordable insurance are going to have that option in the coming days. And I appreciate the legislature on that for working folks and for folks who are not able to work, for that matter.
Yeah.
And then talked about taxes. We need to lower taxes. We are taxed so high on everything we do, from land that we own to everything we buy. Sales tax, income tax, car tags is a tax. Every dollar that I earn or you earn is taxed many, many times before it ever is able to be spent on anything. So I applaud Jason White, the Speaker, and his committee on studying that. I think Scott Bounds and Trey Lamar are co-chairing that, and I'm here to help them with those thoughts and ideas on behalf of the farmers of Mississippi. And then the willingness to fight. We've got to be willing to dig in and do what Donald Trump showed us to do, to stand and fight for the issues that we believe in. Fight against this liberal woke agenda that's got us by the throat in this country. Fight against Kamala Harris and her Marxist. Make no mistake about it, she was raised a Marxist and she really believes that stuff, communism. We got to fight against that agenda, and we've got to win. We really have no option. We're going to do our part in Mississippi, but we need to do it all across this great United States.
I think it's fair to say she's enjoying a bit of a honeymoon now. She's kind of the new bright, shiny toy, but it just feels to me like if Mr. Trump can really focus on the policy distinctions, and of course, I know you've seen this, that she's trying to distance herself from her history of what she supports from a policy perspective, but she hasn't changed. Her stripes haven't changed there.
She is far more liberal than Joe Biden. I have no doubt about that. And I believe I'm correct to say she would prove to be far more liberal than even Barack Obama.
Oh, there's no doubt.
That's the decision we have. And I pray to God that the people of America will see through this media fabrication, that they're trying to recreate her image into, and vote for the right choice. Donald Trump can get our country back on track, cut these oppressive regulations. We got to fight back against those. We got to fight back against foreign people coming in here buying up all of our land. We got to fight for the future of Mississippi, and that's what it'll take to put Mississippi first.
You know, one of the policies that Mr. Trump implemented, Commissioner, when he was elected in his first term was any new regulation had to be proven to generate a net gain.
Yeah.
Should we do that in Mississippi?
We should. Absolutely we should. Now, we should also invite the input of industry, of business people, of working people on every regulation that comes to pass so that it is shown to be something that has a true benefit. You know, there's a role for government. I'm not an anarchist. There are some people who just don't think we should have a government. The Bible teaches there's a role for government is to reward good behavior and punish wrong behavior. And I think that's a very basic delineation, but it's the type of thing we got to get back to. We have repealed about 10% of our regulations at the Department of Agriculture. In fact, we repealed every regulation that we could without legislative approval. A lot of the things that we do, we're mandated to do by legislation, and so we do those. But I think, as a whole, I think that is a great concept, to apply that principle, the Trump principle, to regulations. And we need to look at what laws can be repealed instead of passing new laws.
Totally agree.
I got a set of code books in my office. It takes 5 shelves to hold the number of laws, not even counting regulation. Don't be talking about regulations before you're willing to tackle your own extensive laws that just have gotten out of control. I remember when Republicans took the House the first time. I was there when Philip Gunn was elected as the first speaker, a Republican speaker, and we talked about that, and we attempted that, but we got so much pushback from so many special interest groups. It just kind of, we didn't get where we wanted to be. I think it'd be a good goal. Let's repeal 10% of the laws.
Well, what we get, I think we can accurately say out of the Biden administration is there's no consideration for the value of a new regulation to overall society.
Yeah.
Much of that is targeted at special interest groups.
It is. That's exactly right. You have special interest groups that are entrenched. They have an agenda. I mean, this is a cliche, but you can follow the money. You can see where these agendas are coming from. We got to get back to what the people need, what the people want, and again, that's what it'll take to put Mississippi first.
Pivotal year at the federal level that will affect us here in Mississippi, will affect our agriculture industry as well, and that's the expiration of the Trump tax cuts, the individual provisions. Those are set to expire at the end of 25. This is going to be an epic battle. We don't need our taxes going up.
We don't. The Democrats have already pledged to let them expire. At the same time, we're trying to cut taxes in Mississippi, the huge amount of taxes, the federal taxes, and everybody's going to have less money to spend if that happens. The economy's going to suffer. You know, experts are telling me we're already on the precipice of a potential recession. People are already spending less because of the inflationary pressures. You add that tax burden, and I shudder to think what would happen. But I'm an optimist. I left that convention optimistic. Even before Joe Biden dropped out, I was certainly optimistic. But even after he dropped out, I'm still optimistic. There are 7 or 8 states that are going to elect the next president. Those swing states. We got to focus our efforts there. I have volunteered to go be a speaker, a surrogate speaker there, and I hope to get to go to places like Wisconsin and where we were, and places like Michigan even, and other swings, Pennsylvania, Ohio. These are the ones that are going to make the decision. But at the same time, we got to do our part in Mississippi. We need a great turnout, a huge turnout. I appreciate what Michael Watson, I heard him saying today, and getting people out to vote is really the best thing we can do. Let's have a massive turnout of conservative voters, and we're going to win this thing in November.
Yeah, I absolutely believe that's the case as well. And Commissioner, I share your optimism. I talk about that on the show all the time. Mm-hmm. When I left that convention, just seems like we're all optimistic, we're upbeat, we're having fun, we're positive. That's like the antithesis of what we get out of the Democrats.
That's
honestly.
Right. Exactly. You know, they'll be having their convention, and I'm sure it'll all be, they'll be predicting the end of the world of Donald Trump. But the thing is, he's already been president. We know how good it was. They can't fool you, like Abraham Lincoln said. You can fool some of the people some of the time, and all the people some of the time, but you can't ever fool all the people all the time. The critical time is November the 5th.
Yeah, totally agree. And as you say, turnout in Mississippi needs to be strong to set the pace in the country. But we got to get this message, that just as you and I are talking here today, into those handful of swing states and get those independent or undecided voters. Yeah. They got to open their eyes and go into this thing.
And our greatest threat is if conservative voters just decide to stay home. If you have family, friends, work relations in those states, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, a whole list of them. Call them, contact them. Even Florida, Virginia, North Carolina, my goodness. Georgia is a swing state. I never in my life thought I would see that. But
crazy.
Call your neighbors and kin folks in Georgia. Tell them they got to go vote.
Well, because you know the Democrats with Stacey Abrams are going to be mobilizing to get out the vote effort big time. We got to counter that.
They did it in 20, and they're going to do it again. We can count on that.
Commissioner, thank you for your service, sir. Appreciate you coming on Middays here at the Neshoba County Fair. We'll be talking to you soon. Thank you,
Gerard. Appreciate you. God bless.
Commissioner Andy Gipson has been our guest here on Middays.